Hello friends, welcome. My name is Dave. Thank you for joining me on this fragrance hobby. Today we're going to take a quick look at the house of amouage. This is Interlude Black Iris. Now this came out in 2020. It's a flanker of the original Interlude Man, which came out in 2012. So it's 8 years in between the original and this flanker. Both are perfumer Pierre Negrin. And it's probably the first flanker of the house of amouage. And this is done after the creative director Christopher Chung left the company. So this is going to a new direction, and surprisingly to everyone, they came out with a flanker. So I guess there's a lot of changes, not only with the creative director, but the whole company's the direction they're trying to go to. So with all that said, I do not own the original Interlude Man, so I don't have anything to compare to, except I have a clone of Interlude Man, which is from the house of Swiss Arabian amouage. Now it is said that this one is pretty close to the original. I'm not gonna fool you guys, I'm not gonna fool myself by doing this side by side. No, I'm not gonna do that. The reason I'm showing you this because one of the most prominent and famous or infamous notes is the oregano, and this clone seems to have it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray on my hand just to get an idea of what everybody's talking about, the strong oregano. So I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna give the Interlude Black Iris and also a spray here on the skin and on the shirts. I find that most scents will smell differently on the shirt and the skin, so I get to enjoy two different type of scent profiles. So here we go. Now the original video that I did, the first impression, the audio was so low and it was so bad. I know I have to do it again. So here's a full-fledged review. Here we go. If you could see the name. All right, here we go. Now the top. Both of the clone, the Swiss Arabian, is also very dark, and I do pick up what people mention is the oregano. It's one of those dark herbal notes. Now the Interlude Black Iris is also dark balsamic. So right off the top, the fresh note is coming through with the violet leaf, and there's a rosemary and a little bit fresh bergamot. But the bergamot is not super prominent. It's more on the it's being dominated by the darker scent. Even though the fresh violet leaf, the ozonic, it smells a little bit like cucumber, but then that is in the background as the dominant note of the more minty rosemary is coming through more, at least to my nose. But after that, we're gonna get into the metal notes where all the heavy hitter comes in, where you're gonna have the orris root, and you're gonna have the olibanum. The olibanum is one of those very strong balsamic notes that's green, a little bit woody and spicy, but it does have a fruity top, those kind of sweetness, which is very interesting type of note. And the myrrh. If you ever smell those incense, those are frankincense incense, you know what it smells like. It's very strong, it's a little bit sweet with spicy, and it's a very warm type of scent. So with all that coming into the middle and with some amber and vanilla, yeah, you're gonna get very dark, sweet, incensey type of notes playing around. The violet, I think, is getting pushed to the background. But then the combination, I'm thinking where the iris is coming from. Yeah, I smell a little bit of iris note, but I'm trying to compare it to the other iris fragrance that I have. Even the Dior Intense, Homme Intense, or Dior Homme Parfum, those have the darker iris, but this one is so deep because all those heavy, deep, dark, heavy notes is just covering it. So the iris note is in the background. I guess that's what they call the black iris. And then when we go transition to the base, you can have the leather and the agar wood and the sandalwood and the patchouli and the cedar. So you can see the whole composition. The darker notes are dominating. It's just overwhelming the fresher violet leaf and the rosemary and the bergamot. So this is a very dark black scent, all right? And it's enjoyable, especially if you ever try during cozy days or the cozy spring morning or the spring nights when it's maybe under 60 degree. I tried that a few mornings and it's so enjoyable. At first I didn't really reach for it after the first impression, but then I saw it there and I have to give it a try. And I know I have to record the video again due to the bad audio. So with that said, I put it on for a few mornings. In the morning I just give it a spray. It was a little bit cozy, so I give it a spray and it really blew me away. And one of those things I thought, man, why didn't I reach for this during the colder winter? I had this bottle for a while, but I didn't get to it. Or didn't reach for it. For some reason, I really enjoyed the House of Amouage, but for some reason, this one I did not really reach for it. Now, by the way, the cap, it does have the logo on it, but it is a tester cap. So I brought the other one here. This is Memoir Man. This is what the cap should look like, all right? But the original cap is magnetic, very heavy, but this one is just a light cap. I guess very light metal cap. But the bottle still look nice. I saved maybe $20 or $30 due to the cap, so I'm fine. I can live with that. Even though my collection of amouage, it looks really nice, everything with a cap, but oh well. Now the darker notes, it's not really transitioning. I'm smelling mostly, the dominant thing I'm smelling is the olibanum, the myrrh, the leather, and the orange root. That is coming through very strong. Yes, so the iris is like very how should I explain this? Maybe you can imagine like the sun, the dark deep sun, hot warm sun in the middle, and it is huge, while the sun ray is radiating on the edges. But compared to the size of the sun, the flame on the side, the edges is very thin, very small, very short. So this is like this. The dark notes is inside the sun and it's taking over everything, except with a few, with those little short fire on the outside, representing the lighter notes of the violet, the iris note. So yeah, it's taking a backseat to the darker, all the darker notes. So it's really coming through very strong, very powerful, very dense, very sophisticated. There's a lot going on here. You could actually pick out all these notes. I mean, I love how they do. The leather is mixing there, and the myrrh. I for myself really enjoy the incense sticks. I probably burn at least 1 or 2 incense sticks in my home once a day. I understand that we should not burn so much indoor due to the smoke and also maybe the ingredients inside the incense sticks, but I just love them so much. But if you do those incense sticks, you probably have the flavor of frankincense, right? There's a variety of flavors nowadays, but frankincense, it smells like myrrh. It's one of those flavor that is pretty traditional, so it's great. Like olibanum is frankincense, I'm sorry. So they're in the similar vibe, is all both balsamic. I'm talking about olibanum and myrrh, but olibanum is a little bit more green and spice with fruity on top. And then while myrrh is also balsamic, it's also sweet, but it may be lack of those, it does have sweetness, but it's a little bit different. It's nice green. So I love both. I mean, you know, if you ever go to some places where they have incense, Yeah, you get what I'm saying. So if you enjoy those darker notes, this is going to be for you. Now let's see the age group. You know, I gotta say this is like 21 and up. Okay, and the occasion to use is, well, I mean, anywhere that you can use a deep dark note. Honestly, I don't know if you could get away with it in school, because school usually is for the younger crowds, and this might be too powerful for them because it projects. This is a monster projector, just like probably the original. They call it the Blue Beast. So I guess this is the Blue Beast Junior. No, not Junior, because this one projects as strongly. So Blue Beast times 2. Now, so the occasions you're gonna have to pick and choose, okay? So you know your own situation, but this is not very versatile. This is more of a enjoy on your own, okay? Even your family might have to get used to this kind of scent, all right? So other than that, the longevity is definitely very, very good. It lasts more than a half a day, almost all day, and yeah, even on the shirts, it lasts, especially on the shirt, it lasts for a long time. And yeah, this is a complicated scent, I gotta tell you. Even in the beginning, when I first reviewed it, I couldn't really know how to describe it or review it, because there's a lot going on. But it's very interesting to pick out the notes one by one. So if you enjoy fragrance, that's one of the things that you might do, is try to pick out the notes in there. And then I find that it changes during different times of different temperature. The notes will stand out differently. So but I love to use it during the colder morning, when it's about lower around 50ish in the spring morning. It's just gorgeous. It actually uplift me, even though I understand it's a warm deep dark note, but I feel like I have more energy. I feel more vibrant. I'm ready to go. I feel like, I don't know if it's called macho, manly, or just more oomph, ready to take it on. Maybe because on the cold days, sometimes it's hard to do things, but then you have this warm, powerful sense with you. You feel more, overall more energy, more energy rushing through me. So that's what I think. But hey, if you're new to the fragrance hobby, I gotta warn you, this is not one of the easier one. Okay, this is not a Dior Sauvage or the blue notes, even though it's blue color. Nothing blue about this beast. All right, the black iris is not gonna be the easygoing iris like the Prada L'Homme line or the Dior Homme. Those are very, very puppy-like comparing this to this beast. Okay, so bear in mind that as far as the pricing versus value, I always think that's very, very subjective. So up to each their own, depending on their financial situation. But if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I'm sure they'll come up with some as time go on. Some clones like Man, this one I heard is pretty dead on, the Swiss Arabian. So yeah, this is nice too. Oh well. As far as Black Iris, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. And I really, really enjoy it, especially when I meet the right weather. It's crazy good. That's why I decided to review again. For those fragrances that are not so good, I'm not going to bother to waste your time. But if you see me review it, also doing a full-fledged review, that means it really hits a spot for me. And I gotta tell you, I'm more of a gearing towards the darker notes. I like the deeper, darker, more complex, more interesting, more intriguing. All right, the simple notes are good, but I get kind of bored with it, so I just wear them for a while. But there's places for everything. There are times when I want just simple things, right? So you probably saw my review where I did a bunch of this step meter. All right, and they're just basically one or two notes, and it doesn't last too long, but it's simple, and there are time and place for that. So ginger ale, sometimes I just yeah, this smells really nice too. So this is one of those things that I would struggle with. Example, the $20 ginger ale versus like $200, amouage. So is it worth it? For me it is, for sure it is, but you gotta justify it for yourself, right? But to be honest, there's a word called you get what you pay for, right? You get what you pay for. This is absolutely good quality. I know that some brands maybe they would be expensive due to marketing, but as far as the quality of the juice is concerned, it's not up to par. But mainly it's kind of an empty shell where it's just marketing, right? Just the name, just the prestige. But this is absolutely worth the money, absolutely worth the price tag. So if you need to save up, you think it's great, if that type of scent's gonna suit you, go for it. But if you're not ready for the darker scent, this is a powerful beast. Yeah, still projecting even after 10-15 minutes, so be ready for it. But I think one or two sprays gonna last you for a long time, so you probably it's gonna give you money's worth for this 100 ml bottle. All right guys, that's a review, full-fledged review on this amouage Interlude Black Iris. I absolutely love it. I give it 9 out of 10. All right, 9 is because it's not going to be suitable for all occasions, and in the versatility is low. All right, and the occasions to wear is low, but I just still love it. So all right guys, I hope that is helpful. If you have any comments, let me know below, and please subscribe and thumb up. All right then, as always, thank you so much, and see you next time.